Prosecutor Michael Genelin is head of the hardcore gang division of the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office.
Don't get the idea that they are some kind of crazy fanatics. You shouldn't believe that, because they're not. They know exactly how far they can go and what's going to happen to them.
You seem to be saying that they'd be more concerned about not performing the contract, which was expected of them,
yes,
than they would be about the consequences from doing it.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. I think that that once they agree to take on the hit, or they're told to take on the hit, many times they're told to do the hit without any input in it. That's what they do. I mean, they go ahead and do it.
Even if there are witnesses, and even if the witnesses are cops. While in custody in the LA County Jail, MA member Salvador Buenrostro, who had fallen out of favor with his colleagues, was attacked and stabbed by Mexican Mafia members Topo Peters and Rene Enriquez. Probation officer Georgie O'Connor was only 4 feet away when the attack occurred, in an attorney visiting room. She was one of a room full of witnesses who saw Peters and Enriquez unhandcuff themselves and stab Buenrostro 25 times.
Peters and Enriquez didn't care that there was witnesses. They didn't care that there was 15 or more sheriffs now surrounding them. They continued to stab Buenrostros. And when they thought he was dead, and I was close enough that I thought he was dead, they stopped, and they stood up, and they dropped their weapons, and they turned themselves back over to the sheriff's custody.
How did they get knives, and how did they get keys to the handcuffs?
I don't believe that there's anything that the Mexican Mafia members need that they cannot obtain, no matter whether they're inside a jail or prison facility. They can access weapons, access narcotics, access phones, and access anything that they need to take care of their business.
What did this episode tell you about the Mexican Mafia?
They don't foresee that there are any consequences to their actions that the justice system can give them.
Because?
They're already in prison.
But there are consequences for those who testify against La MA. In the El Monte case, 2 witnesses were killed before the trial. And since O'Connor testified about the jail stabbing incident at the federal racketeering trial, she says she's been intimidated numerous times, followed home from work, watched by strangers parked outside of her house. O'Connor lost her badge because she's too terrified to go to work, and she's been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder.
Why did you testify?
I testified because it was a morally right thing to do. And I've come forward to talk to you, Mr. Croft, because I want to speak on behalf of the witnesses that ultimately become victims. We need to establish something that encourages them and helps them to get through this, so that they'll stand up for what's morally right. The bottom line is, it's good against evil, and if we don't stand up against the MA, the evil wins.
The ability of the Mexican Mafia to intimidate extends far beyond the barrios and the prison system. In fact, it reached all the way into the Hollywood film community after the release of a movie called American Me. The film, directed by and starring actor Edward James Olmos, told the story of La MA and its murderous ways. It got little attention at the box office, but attracted a lot of attention from the Mexican Mafia.
I take it the Mexican Mafia did not like the movie.
No, they sure didn't.
Tony Casas, a retired assistant prison warden, worked with Olmos on the film. He says La MA was extremely upset by a scene in which one of the gang's founders was raped in juvenile hall. The incident never happened, and the gang considers homosexuality of any kind an affront to its machismo. Within a year, 3 people who served as consultants on the movie were murdered, including anti-gang activist Ana Lizarraga.
So all 3 of these people had been involved with the movie?
Yes.
And all 3 of them were killed?
Yes.
Because they were involved with the movie?
Part of the reason that they were killed, I'm sure, had to do with a movie.
You believe that there's some connection?
Oh, I believe it, yes.
Casas, who attended the first screening, says he told Edward James Olmos that the rape scene could cause a problem.
You asked him why he put it in?
I asked him why he put it in.
What did he say?
He said he just wanted to, he said it was a philosophical thing, I think he said, to try and make it more scary for the youngsters. You know, here's what can happen to you. You know, you can get raped.
Do you think he had any idea that it was going to cause problems?
I don't think so. I don't think he had the slightest idea that that would cause problems.
He made a mistake.
He made a mistake.
In the aftermath of American Me, Olmos was called to testify before a federal grand jury. The original indictment in the racketeering case against EME stated that the gang had tried to extort property and money from Olmos and wanted to kill him following the movie. According to law enforcement sources, the extortion count was dropped from the indictment when the actor indicated he had nothing to say regarding the threats against him. He has also refused to talk to us about the case.
Is it difficult to get a witness to testify in a case involving the Mexican Mafia?
I think anytime you have a gang case, and I know EME is involved, they will have certainly a tremendous amount of trepidation about testifying, and perhaps rightfully so.
What do you mean, rightfully so?
Well, I mean, it's clearly possible that that gang might go after them.
And that's why Georgie O'Connor says her life will never be the same.
I wear a vest, bulletproof vest. I try not to keep a regular schedule. I never open the front door to anyone. An expert in the MA told me, don't ever assume once you've testified that there is no contract out against you. You have to assume always, in order to protect your life, that there is.